This conference will now be recorded.
Right, let's start today's session. In the last session, we started with the functions in Python. Functions can be used to provide reusability. That means once we create a function, inside the function you can write any logic. So we can call function directly how many times you required. Function is a statement or a group of statement which can be uh, called again and again whenever it is required and wherever it is required. And function advantages reusability, avoid repetition of the code, modification will be easy, and it will save a lot of time, and it will improve readability of the program. So these are the advantages of functions. We have seen clearly how to create a function. What is the syntax? Okay, to create a function in Python, we use def keyword, define a function, that means. So we just seen that in the last session, one simple function how to create with the name is f1 function here. This f1 function is expecting some name parameter, and here we are supplying, while calling the f1 function, we are supplying name input to this name variable. So parameters are input values to the function. Function, once we have a function with parameter, we should supply input values to this function. So then only function will work by taking this input values from the calling place. So this is the calling place. This is the creation of the function. And here function will work only when we call the function, otherwise it won't work. So function syntax is this def keyword, function name, brackets are compulsory, parameters are optional, and function header section is ends with colon. So if you don't use this colon, then it will give syntax error. Look at this, if I'm missing colon, even if you try to run this program now, so it will give you syntax error clearly. So you have defined a function but wrong syntax. Syntax error expected colon here. So after completion of function declare definition, we have to uh, end with colon only, sir. Now inside the body of the function, you can write any logic. In case sometimes if you don't want to write any logic here inside the function, you don't have any idea to write the logic inside the function, simply we can go for pass. If we don't give any pass keyword, then again Python will not allow without implementation any function. Inside the function body, no implementation, but you will get indentation error. Compulsory, we have to include some statements inside the function. So otherwise you will get indentation error clearly. So if you don't have any implementation inside the function, simply we can inform to interpreter by using pass keyword only. So I'm using pass keyword. So that's what here it is. Just leaving empty without implementation. Any function is there here. The function is without implementation, that is pass keyword. Python interpreter will consider the execution clearly. Later, when we have idea how to implement this function f1, we can come and give the statements here. What statements you want. So this is simple function creation with single parameter. Let's see this one more function I'm trying to create. You can give the name of the function anything. Suppose I want to find square of given number. I can write square of given number. My function name is square. And how to find square of given number here? I'm giving square of n. N means your input value is. And how to find square of given number n into n expression. Function logic. Create a function with name square. This function is expecting one variable, one parameter that is n, and that n value through only I'm trying to perform some expression like n into n. The square of n is n into n. Now here I'm calling square function and it is expecting some input value n sir. So we should supply input value 5, any value. Then immediately this 5 value goes to n variable. The square of n is what? N into n, 5 into 5, 25. Later if you want to supply a different value, you can also call the function one more time. You can pass this 4. So square of 4 is 16. So any number of times you can call this function and you can supply the value to this function clearly. Fine? Yes. Next, what I'm trying to do, can we accept this number at runtime? So n value. So we are passing directly the value to this n variable. Can we accept at runtime n value? Yes, sir, we can accept value at runtime. How to accept the value at runtime in Python means int of input of enter a number. The user will enter a number. That number we should supply to this square function n, but now you can say square of n is n into n. But once you can try to understand this program, first it will ask a number because this line is executing now, enter a number. Once I enter a number 8, then when we enter this, so we got square of 5 25, square of 4 16 only. Why? Because we are calling the function with values like 5 and 4. You have supplied the 8 value, but you didn't call the function with what? Square of n. N means your input value, but you have not supplied the value here. So we have to supply the value compulsory. So then only it will work, sir. Okay. What value you have to supply means square of 8 only. So 8 value where it is available here, 8 value, n value, n variable. So that what we have to call with square of n. N means your input value. Your input value what we have given, that value will come to here only. Let's run this. 8 square of 5 25, square of 4 16. Finally whatever we input given, square of 8 64, it is coming. So this is n value. So this is runtime value we are supplying. This is already inside the program only. We decided which value through we want to find square. Sir, can we go for this n value input value at here only directly? Yes. While calling the function only, we can accept the value at runtime. It's also possible, sir. So we are calling the function. The moment when we call the function, immediately it will ask the number at runtime. That number is string type. It is converting into integer and stored into n. So once I run this, we'll see this. It's expecting some number again. So you can give this number and it will call square of 6 is 36. So we can pass the values, parameter values to the function. Either directly we can pass or by accepting values at runtime also possible, sir. So this is called square of given number finding using functions. These are very basic scenario I'm telling you first. And same thing, inside the function body, you can write any logic also. Means not only always print simple function, simple calculation. You can write any values inside the function body. Okay. Yes. So how to write inside the function body? How to write any logic means, for example, I'm trying to call a function. So this function I want to find whether even number or odd number. I can create my function name is underscore even. It's my function name. So is even. This is my function name. I want to check whether given number is even or not. So first of all, I'm trying to do parse. I don't want to write any code inside the function body. Let's see this first. I'm calling the function here. Is even function I'm calling. You can supply the any value like this. Again, is even function I'm calling. You can supply any value like this. Now, the moment when we call this function is even, directly it will go to here. Now we have to check this. If n modulus 2 equal to 0, then I can say here if conditions are, and I can say that is print what is that, is even, is even, and is even. Otherwise I can say else block print n is what we can say odd number. I can say that this is underscore even, n modulus 2 equal 0, print n is even, else n is odd. We are supplying the values to the function in the calling place 4 and 7. Once I run this, so is even function I'm calling, is even function will take input value from the user 4 and 5, 7. So 4 is even, 7 is odd, it will say like this. It's very simple as that. Okay. So this is even function creation. You can write any logic inside the function body, I mean to say. Okay. Yes. So we have seen the examples of functions, how to create function, how to call a function, function with single parameter, function without parameter, and now we will see function with multiple parameters. So a function can accept multiple parameter values. So how to do it? Let's see this quickly. One more example I'll show you. Test 18. 18, sorry, this is HTML page is created by mistake. Let's delete this. Now let's see this HTML page is created. Right click on it and Python file test 18. I'm trying to rec. Now here I'm creating a function by adding two numbers like multiple parameters I'm accepting here. This is multiple parameters. So here the moment when we call this function, I can say sum is, expression is what? Sum of two numbers a plus b. It's a very simple and straightforward function again. Add is my function name. This function is expecting how many parameters as input? Two parameters, two values I supplied. So strictly remember parameters are input values to the function. Function how many number of parameters are having, that many number of parameters we should supply to the function only. Suppose here two parameters are there a and b, but we are supplying only one parameter value, so it will not execute, sir, because test 18 I'm running, it will not execute. Error you will get. What error? Add function takes two arguments, but you are missing one. Add function missing one required positional argument b. So you are supplying 10 value for a, but you are missing b variable value. So here I'm taking 10 and 20. Let's run this. Now we can see sum is what? 30 only. Okay, this is the case. So how many number of parameters are there in function? That many values we have to supply. And can I supply here 10.3 and 20? Yes. Can I supply here two float values? Yes. Can I supply two integer values? Yes. Can I supply two strings like Durga and soft? This function will work fine, sir, in all the cases like this you can see. So 10.3 plus 20, 30.3, 23.4 plus 56.6, 8.80.0, 10 plus 20, 30, Durga and soft, Durga soft. But don't try with this like one integer, one string, because it will give unsupported operand type. We cannot add one integer and one string in Python by using plus operator. Unsupported operand type for plus operator, int and string. You can't add one into one string. Two strings we can add, two integers we can add, two floats we can add, by using plus operator. Plus means addition operator. Here you can see we are having operator or plus operator here. So this is function creation with multiple parameters. Two parameters values are there. Two values we have to supply every time when we call this function. So these are the basics of functions. You know how to create a function, how to call a function, how to handle function with single parameter, multiple parameters. Okay, and also you know how to write some logic inside the function. If condition, any condition, even for loops also we can write inside the function body, no problem at all. Okay, so next return statement. In the last session, I just given this clear syntax of function. In the syntax, I have shown clearly return statements also. Return statement is optional, not compulsory. Return means what? When we use return statements inside the function body, that means whenever you are calling the function will perform the task what we assign. After completion of task, then function will return the result value to the caller, means who is calling the function. At calling place, function will return the values. That is the return type. So right now here you can see def add function is there. This add function we are calling, but is this add function is returning any value to the calling place? No, no value is returning to the calling place. Look at this. Here I'm removing. This is not required just for understanding. So I'm calling the function by supplying 10 and 20. This 10 and 20 values goes to A and B. So then A, B is printing here. So A plus B, 10 plus 20, 30. So here 10 plus 20, 30 only is going to be printing, sir. 10 plus 20, 30 is printing clearly here. Yes, sir. Print sum is A plus B, 10 plus 20, 30 values printing. Function is not giving any value to the calling place. So here caller, this is calling place. Okay, calling place, this is calling place. So this is function. So calling place, caller is calling the function with add 10 20. Directly this function will call 10 value, 20 value. Now here print sum is a plus b, that is 10 plus 20. Function only printing the results, sir. We are not getting any value to the calling place. Just observe here. Once I run this test 18, we are getting sum is 30. Fine. So just I'm commenting this one. Instead of that, what I'm trying to do, just observe here. Return statement I'm using. Return. Return is a keyword. Okay. The general meaning of return is it return the value to the calling place. So I'm trying to do a plus b, my expression. Now this time observe carefully. Whenever we are calling this function 10 20, this a value 10, b value 20, 10 plus 10 to 30. So here 30 value is there with function. This 30 value will return to the calling place by using what statement? Return statement. So when we run this, there is no output. Why? Because we are calling the function by passing 10 value for A, 20 value for B. Function is doing his logic like A plus B, 10 plus 20, 30. This 30 value is function is doing, sir. It's returning. Returning means this 30 value is sending back to the calling place. But in the calling place, do we have any print option for printing the result? No. That's what result is not printing. So I have to print the result option here only. Print, print, print. Okay, sum is. Then I have to call this function add of 10 20. Now this time you can see this is the calling place. Function will call by taking 10 and 20 values as a parameters, and function can do 10 plus 20 30. This 30 value is returning to the calling place again. So this return means return the value. Return to whom? Caller. So calling place is this one. So in the calling place, what I am using? Print. So printing is okay. Okay. So this is returning the statement. But what is the difference between this print function here only or return statement? Whenever you want to reuse the value, result value, if you want to store somewhere, or do you want to reuse the result value, then return statement is important. For example, here also we are not reusing the values. Just see this how I can reuse the values. So I want to store result value into R variable. I'm calling the function here 1020. So this R value, I'm going to print it. Now you can see R value printing. So where is the calling place? This is the calling place. We are calling the function 1020 here. Function will call and it will perform the logic like 10 plus 20 30. This 30 value is returning to the calling place. Return means it send back. Where it will store 30 value R. We are storing this result value which is coming from function R variable. We are printing R value. Sum is R only. So let's run this now. We got this R. Okay. So why this useful? Because this R value holding the result of two variable values like a plus b, 10 plus 20 30. This R value we can able to reuse it later whenever you need. Okay. Yes. For example, here return statement I am commenting now. Here I am trying to uncommenting now. So right now function is returning or printing. Function is not returning any value. Function is only printing the values. The moment when we call the function with add name 10 and 20, 10 plus 20 will be printed here. So function doesn't return any value to the calling place. But in the calling place we have having R value. R value don't have any store means none. So the sum is 30 for a change for recognition for easy to recognize which print function is calling. You have to understand that's what I'm changing the script so you will get clarity. So now this time observe here result is 30 means what is that calling? This function body print function is calling here. So function only printing the result a plus b 30. Function doesn't return any value to the calling place. So in the return type R value, nothing is there, none, because it cannot hold anything. The value is not coming from function and stored into R. Nothing is there in this. Okay. First, let's comment it again. Uncomment it this again. Now this time R is holding what value, sir? 30 value here. R is holding 30 value. So why? Because function is returning the value. Return means whatever the logic we have in the function result, that result value will give back to the calling place. In the calling place, we are accepting return value in the R variable. This R variable value we can able to reuse it later also. If you want to store the result value somewhere, do you want to reuse that result value somewhere? Then we can use return type. Otherwise not. Suppose look at this. I am trying to create one more function is here. So I'm creating multiply function. I'm passing R value, C value, and I'm printing here multiplication is, then R into C, R into C. Then I'm calling the function multiplication R and 5, R value and 5. So where it is coming R for your program? So look at this, R is coming from other function logic like when the moment adding the function a plus b 10 plus 20 30 result is stored into R variable. This R I'm able to reuse it again in my other function or not? Yes. R value how much it is? 30. C value how much I am passing? 5. 30 into 5 150. So we can have this facility whenever you get the value from the function. If you are expecting some value from the function, means you can provide return keyword in the function body so that function after completion of operation that it will return the result value to you. If you are not expecting any value, You are asking to the function, you only print the logic, you need not to give values to me. In the sense, we can use print function in the body only. Function only will print the result, it will not giving the values to you. So option is yours. So this is exactly how return statement without return statement. Whenever you want to get the value, result value from the function and store it somewhere or send it somewhere, then we use return statement. Or if you don't want to store any result value somewhere, or you don't want to send the result value somewhere, then you can go for print function. So this is the clarity which I'm giving. Return without return. Return general mean. Tell me.
Sir, I just had a question. So, without calling the without calling the add function, it won't return the result, right? But how was it returning the result?
I'm calling the function, no here.
No, no, not this step. You have commented the return step and you have printed, right? The result is A plus B.
A plus B. What will happen? We are also calling, no here also.
Okay, but while calling this R, we got none. That's what I just noted down.
That's the reason we are calling. Okay, just listen. We are calling here. Function will call. It will take 10 and 20. Function only printing the result. Function only printing the result means this result is 30 is there. But here what I'm taking R equal to this result value, I'm trying to assign the R. R doesn't have any value. It is not coming from function. None is there. That is what proof I'm saying. No.
Okay,
Yeah.
got it.
That indicates that function doesn't return any value to the calling place. Nothing is there in the R that indicate that. Look at this. Sum is none. Just I want to give clarity. That's what I'm using this R value still again. So you need to know no, whether function is returning the value or not. I'm using print function. Function only printing the result. It's not returning. That's what R is nothing. None is there. If I comment this one and uncomment this one, we are using return statement. Function is returning the value to the calling place. That return value I'm storing into R. Now you can see sum is 30 will come now. You can see sum is 30. So this is just proof whether function is returning the value to you or not. If it is returning value to you, that return value I'm capturing and store into my variable called R, because this result value I want to reuse it later in my further function, or I want to send it this one into some other program. We can do it. I'm reusing this R value result value here into other function. So this is return type without return type like this. And one more example which I want to show you that is important. In Python, single function can return multiple values. But is this good or not? You just try to understand. The meaning is one function I can create. Inside the one function, I can implement multiple tasks. And what do you think about this function logic? Like one function, multiple task is better, or one function, one task is better, do you think? So I can say I will write the program and you can decide it what is the better option here. But I'm saying that in Python, single function can able to do multiple tasks and can able to return multiple values. Yes, it's possible. A single function can able to return multiple values. Just see this. I'm trying to create a function name is called f1. The f1 function is taking two input parameters like ab. So f1 function is doing two operations, sum equals to a plus b and sub equals to a minus b, two operations, sum and sub. And this will return values, sum value and sub value is returning. Both values are returning to the calling place. And I'm taking calling place x comma y equals to f1 function I'm calling 10 and 20 I'm passing. Print is sum is x value it's stored, first variable sum, and print sub is y value I'm storing, that is y value. Fine, sir. So just observe closely this function once. In the f1 function body, two result values are there. Sum equals to a plus b, sub equals to a minus b. And these two result values I am returning to the calling place. So this is the calling place. Sum value, sub value I am returning, and I'm going to store this sum value into x variable, sub values into y variable, orderly. Okay. Then finally we are printing sum separate and sub separate. So this function at a time can do two tasks, a plus b, addition of two numbers, subtraction of two numbers, and it return multiple values. It's good. So you feel that one function we are calling, sir, we are able to do multiple tasks within the one function. Result is coming like sum is 30, sub is 10 minus 20 minus 10. Perfect. But I'm asking, is this good practice in reality? Do you want to do this one function with multiple functions, multiple tasks, or single function, single task is best option?
Single function, single task is it's best option because if we do function will return multiple tasks, it will return it will more confusion for the developer. That's why.
More confusion for the developer. Okay, some it is okay reason, but real reason is what I'll tell you. Today I have added this function. I have added to this function two tasks like sum and sub. Later I can add some more multiply, division, multiple tasks in the same function f1. So the moment when I call today f1 function by passing 10 and 20, it's giving like sum and sub is okay. Okay, but I am asking later to this function, I need to do only this operation, no? Sum. Remaining three tasks I don't want. So if you cannot perform using functions at a time only one task now because already you have assigned multiple tasks to the same function. So the moment when we call the function, how many tasks we assign to them, all tasks will be performed. No task will be leave. But I need only one task at this moment. That is adding two numbers. You are calling function because of just adding two numbers. You are making function to do all other functions, other tasks what we assign. That's not good idea because right now you have multiple tasks. You are doing multiple tasks with functions. Perfect. Later you don't need all the tasks. Only one task is enough for you, sum or sub, because only one task purpose you can't say function like you can do this time only one task, other task you can ignore, means it won't, because how many tasks you assign, all the tasks will be performed. So that is not good idea. So at a time one function one task is the best option. It will be easy to calling because which task is required for you exactly, that function you can call it. Remaining function you need not to call because function speciality is that is only. You can ready with your number of functions, and which function you need to call you can call it. Which function you don't require you just don't call it. Functions will work only when we call, otherwise it will not. So when this is good approach, really do you want to find or do you want to calculate every time multiple functions logic? Okay, really if you want to go for multiple functions logic, if you don't want to go for one logic, one function, if you call one function to perform multiple logic at once, then we can go for this approach. But this approach is not good always in reality. Even though function can return multiple values, better to write single logic in single function like this. For example, I'm adding two numbers. A, B, I'm taking in this. I can return the values A plus B here. Later, I can add one more function like subtraction perform. A, B, I can do it. And now I can say return A minus B like this. So now this time two functions are ready. I can call any one function which I need. Suppose I'm trying to only I required add. So I can call the add function. I don't want to call subtract function because I don't need this function to subtract. So function will work when we call it. Which function you are calling, that function only will work. Sir. Sub is 30. Later, if you want to add subtraction also, you can call it clearly. So function doesn't work without calling. So this is return type without return type, with returning multiple values, without returning multiple values. So similarly, inside the function, we worked with only parameters, but functions through, we can also work with variables. Types of variables in functions. Types of variables in functions. Types of variables. What types of variables? Generally, two simple types of variables are there. One is local variables, and next one is global variables. Global variables. Local variables means simple. The variables which are declared inside the function are declared inside the function, and that variables are only available to that particular function, to that particular function is called local variables. Local variables means what? The variables which are declared inside the function, and that variables are only available to that particular function is called local variables. Local variables, local variables cannot access outside of the functions. Local variables cannot access outside of the functions. It cannot access outside of the function. In which function you declare that variables, in that function only we can able to access. Outside of the function we cannot access local variables within the same function only. Okay, first we'll see local variable example. It's a very simple and straightforward. Nothing is there in this. Just look at this. S21. I'm creating f1 function here simply. Inside the f1 function, I'm declaring one variable a. I'm printing. So a is the local variable of what function, sir? F1 function. A is the local variable of f1 function. And next, here I'm trying to create one more function f2. So b equals to 20. Print what actually? B. B is the local variable of f2 function. So two functions are ready. In each function, I have a variable called a variable. A variable belongs to f1. B variable belongs to f2. I'm calling f1 function and I'm calling f2 function. The moment when we call f1 and f2 function, f1 function variable will be a, that is 10. F2 function variable is b, that is 20. We are accessing in each function separately. Can we access here? Look at this. F1 function is having a value 10, that is local variable of this f1. B variable, local variable of f2. Can we access just a? I'm trying to access here. Look at this. The moment when we try to access a variable, it says like this, underlined red squiggly. So that is unresolved reference name a. Okay, it's not correct. So look at this. Even when we run this, you will get error. What error? Name error. Why? Because this a variable name is not defined inside the f2 function. That's what we are getting. Name a is not defined. Yes, we have defined this a, but where we have defined inside the f1. So inside the f1 only we can access. At the same time, if you try to access b inside the f1, but you have defined the b variable inside the f2, but you are trying to access the b variable inside the f1. No. Name error. Name b is not defined again. So that means local variable means where you declare, in which function you declare, there only we can access. You can't able to access outside of the functions. So this is exactly local variables behavior with functions. These are variables. It's not a parameters. Parameters means you have to supply here only. Inside the function body, whatever we declare this, these are variables. Local variables, global variables, like this. Let's see this next. Global variables are there. As I said that local variables cannot access outside of the functions. Within the same function only we can access. Now global variables. Global variables means the variables which are declared, outside of the functions, The variable which are declared outside of the functions, and that variables are available to all functions in the program, all functions in the program. That means what? Once we declare global variable, that variable value is available to all functions in entire the program, sir. How many number of functions we included in the program? In every function we can able to access. Global variables means the variables which are declared outside of the functions, and that variables are available to all functions in that program is called global variable. So let's see this how to declare global variable. Outside of the functions we have to declare, that is global variable. Let's see this. I'm trying to declare this a variable value outside of the function, and this a I can able to access inside the f1 function is possible, inside the f2 function is also possible. Now let's run this. Just try to understand clearly here. I'm calling f1 function a value 10. I'm calling f2 function a value 10. So f1 f2 both are able to access this a variable, sir, because we declare outside of the function. This is the global variable value, the variable which is declared outside of the function, and that variable we can able to access in any functions in the program f1 f2 f3 and all anywhere. Okay, yes. So look at this one more important thing. So global keyword, I'm talking about global keyword. There is a keyword is there in the keyword list, you can check. There is a global keyword is available, sir. Why global keyword and where do we use exactly? Global keyword is used to make global variable is available to the particular function for required modification. Let's see this. Global keyword is used to make global variable is available to a particular function particular function for required modification. Why, sir, global keyword is required, sir? Global keyword is used to make global variable is available to a particular function for required modification. Means what? Just look at this. I am having global variable a value 10, but here a value I want to modify the global variable value. Okay, so that's what I'm taking global a. Once I declare this global a, that means I am making this a variable global variable is available to the f1 function for modification purpose. That's the reason I'm using global keyword. So now here you can see a value 99 I'm changing. What does it mean? Please mute your audio, those who join. Now, see a value 10, it's a global variable value. Inside this f1 function, I am declaring a global keyword with a. Why global keyword you declare? Because I want to make this global variable available to this f1 function for modification of its value. That is 99. So once global keyword I use here, that means this a is available to f1 function for modification easily. So once a value 99 is changing, the global variable value is going to be carry forward for any other further function it will affect. So now you can see a value 99, 99 is changing. Once 99 is changing, a value 10, 10 become a 99, 99 is going to change means in everywhere 99 or not. Yes, 99 f1 function true, f2 function true, when we call 99 only coming. So because we are changing this global variable value inside the particular function like 99, you may get doubt, sir, why we use global keyword? Can't we go for directly like this? A99? No. What will happen? This is the local variable again. Okay, look at this. F1 function inside, it's a local variable now. A value 99 will affect here in the F1 function only. It doesn't mean that we are changing that 99 value from 10. So we are not changing A value 10 to 99. It doesn't mean that. Only inside the F1 function, you declare same variable 99. This is the local variable is considered. Local variable value 99 is coming from F1 function. But in case, do you think if it is changing global variable value from 10 to 99, in the F2 function also it has to change, no? But it will not. Look at this. Only F1 99, F2 10 only again. That means what? Global variable value is not changing. Though we are using same variable name here, A99, it's a local variable. It's a priority of local only. That's what we are printing A value 99. That's it. Okay. So if you want to change the global variable value, then we use what actually? Global keyword A. So we are changing this global A value 10 is available to F1 function. A10 is going to become 99. Once 10 is going to become 99, its global variable value will affect in all further functions where you change it. Because of we are calling first F1 function only. Suppose if I call F2 function first, look at this. I'm calling what function first? F2 function. If you call F2 function first, so F2 function will call first. Obviously, this A value is coming from where? Here, 10 only. Later, we are calling F1 function. No, again, A value 10 is available to F1 function, and immediately it is changing the global variable value 99. So this time 10, 99. So calling is also important. We are calling F2 function first. In the F2, we are not doing any changes global variable value. Obviously, this A variable will get value from 10 only here on the global place. But when we call F1 function, inside the F1 function, I declare the variable called global variable by using global keyword. So I'm making this variable value available to this F1 function for modification. So A value 99 modified. Modification value will affect from F1 after. So what you understand here, just look at this. Uh, to declare the global variable, we need not to, excuse me, to declare the global variable, we need not to declare always global variable always on the top of the program or before the functions. Still, we can also declare global variable inside the particular function also by using what keywords are global keyword. Once you declare a variable inside a particular function by using global keyword, that variable will become a global variable. This variable can able to access in any further functions possible. I declare global variable where? Inside the F1 function. Did I declare global variable outside of the function? No. No need to declare outside of the function. We can also declare global variable inside the particular function also, but global keyword is mandatory. If the global keyword is not mandatory, it's not giving. Now this will give error because A is not defined in F2 function. A is defined in F1, but A is giving error, you can say this. So compulsory, do you want to allow all functions to access your variable value? Let's make them global by using global keyword. So there are two ways are there to, to, to create a global variable. Either you can go for on top of the program, you can declare the variable without global keyword, that variable by default global variable only, or else inside the particular function, we can declare the global variable by using global keyword. Fine. This is the case. Now, sir, what happened if I have my global variable name is same, a local variable name is same? Just observe here. This is the last scenario today. A variable 10. This a same variable is there in my F1 function a variable 99. So what is the priority here? Local variable only. Obviously, look at this a value 99 when we call F1 function and F2 function when we call 10 only. Sir, my requirement is what you know. I need to access this value also here. Okay. and this 99 value also here. The problem is here in that global variable name is same, local variable name is also same, but here two times I'm printing A and A, but obviously it will give the priority what, sir? Local only. Look at this, two times 99, 99 only came for F1 function calling through 99 and 99. And F2 is no problem, that is 10 only. But my requirement is though these two variable names are same, A and A same, but one of the value it should come from global. How we can differentiate whether it is coming from global or local if the variable names are same? So in that context, we can use global's function we have to use, and A is you have to enclose it within the square bracket. So globals of A means this A is belongs to global value, that is 10. This A is belongs to local variable, that is 99. The moment when we call F1 function, 99 is printing, 10 is printing. This is 99 and 10. And when we call F2 function, 10 is there here. So this is the way to access. Once you have a variables, local variable name and global variable name is same, then how to access this means we have to use globals of A only. So this is about functions with local variables and global variables. In tomorrow's session, we will see types of arguments in functions. Types of arguments are there. Okay. But meanwhile, let's see this. In the last session, I have given some exercise program. So what is that? How to create a dictionary. Find Mr. Shashank. Let's copy this code. I expected one function, but let's see how many people will come with that function. Task code, where it is. One by one, I'll check. This is Mr. Shashank code. Is 1, 2, 3 value Sai Mohan Raj, I value 0. You are taking loop variable, I think so. Let's see this. Now you can see I value 0. He's taking empty dictionary, fine. While I less than of length of keys, while I less than 0 less than length of keys, yes, keys is 3 only, 0 less than 3, correct only. If it is correct, d dot update method, and keys of I means what? This is I means 1, 0 index 1. Values of I means what? 0 index 1, fine. I equal to I plus 1 increment print d. Yeah, it's okay, fine, good. But it's a little bit tricky, but this is not. Yeah, let's run this. We have dictionary. Fine, it's good. Let's comment it. Next, who's code K Dasu. He has written, I think, oh, you are writing range one, no? Range through he has written. Now you can see it's a different now. I'm expecting some code, but no one came with that code. Okay, good. I'll explain that. Keys 1, 2, 3. Values Sai Mohan Raj. Output values, you can assume that it is a dictionary only, no problem. So it will be better. D I'm giving. Yeah, for loop he has taken. Same. I in range of 0, length of keys. D of keys of I equal to values of I. Perfect, sir. It is also working, no problem. Let's see this. Good. Let's comment this. And who is next? Lokesh. Let's copy this. Number 1, 2, 3. Name is name. Dictionary equal to dict function you are taking. Fine. So for item in range of length of number, key equals to number of item. Dictionary key equal to value, and print dictionary. Let's see. This also look good, but somewhat little bit tricky. Yeah, fine. So you have all written okay, but I'm asking, I'm expecting one simple code, but no one came actually. Oh, it's Mr. Das who came again with the different code, but this is lengthy, man. I'm not doing that. Okay, fine. So I'm asking simple code like this, sir. There is a function called zip function. Look at this. I'm trying to take key and values. It is as simple as that. No need to make complex. So here I'm trying to do if wait a minute. Now here I'm taking dictionary d equals to. So I'm taking here dict dict zip of keys comma values. Print d. This I'm expecting. Oh, it's a giving error. Let me change it. I think this is dictionary. That is zip. Try to change this. Still it is there. No, I have to give keys and values directly without iteration. No. Let's see. Yeah, this is what I'm expecting, sir. So keys values are there. D is the dictionary name. Dictionary and converting dictionary function. Zip is a function. It will zip with automatically mapping keys and values associated. We are just passing keys and values list and printed it. This I expect from someone, but no one came. It's okay, fine. Zip means yes, zip function can able to zip the values, key and value pairs automatically mapping here. So it's a built-in function. Even I didn't explain, but you have to search in Google also. But I expected this, but no one came. It's okay. It's simple way to do this one. Okay. So that's all for now. Today, today no task. I'll check it tomorrow. I'll give you task based on functions only. We'll see in tomorrow.